Well, hello and welcome to my latest video, and today we've got a special treat for you. Yes, I am playing the role of the great Stanley Matthews, the explorer and footballer who searched for the source of the Nile and then met up with Dr. Livingstone deep in the African jungles, and that's where we're going. We are searching for the source of the Nile, so come with me on this exciting journey. And don't forget your football boots, because it's going to be muddy. And we start here in Kelsey Park as we follow the Nile from its later beginnings, because we're following it back to its beginnings. We're searching for the source of the Nile. So here we are in this dirty, dusty creek deep in the heart of Africa, with the ducks and the cassowaries and the ostriches and the pink flamingo there in the background. One of the giant sequoias which this part of Africa is littered with. Now, apart from following the course of the River Nile, we're also planning to follow the course of the River Beck. And here we can see the Beck. This is the river, the deep, fast-flowing, 2-mile wide, one of the great rivers of the world, the River Beck. David Beckham was born just near the River Beck, hence his name. The Beck disappears here and flows under this section of road. If you listen carefully, you can hear the tinkle tinkle of water as the tinkle tinkle of diesel engines putter past. And now we are entering another park, hopefully to find some more evidence of the fast flowing Beck. Here we are at the bridge over the River Beck. They made a film about this because a number of Japanese soldiers, prisoners of war, were forced at the point of having to watch some mothers do have them, and they had to build this bridge. Rather treacherous and muddy riverbank. There's a basking hippopotamus there, as you can see, with a strong resemblance to a log. Now we passed through the great swamp here at the edge of the Beck. Great wildlife reserve, scene of many of David Attenborough's triumphs. You can see him there in the background making an advert for Stannah stairlifts, probably. Notice the way the river eddies around that rock and that little pile of leaves there in the centre of the frame, and creates those rather attractive ripples. Along the side of the road, so there will be no images of rivers for the foreseeable future. There may be images of cars, an occasional runner, possibly a cyclist. There we are, 2 cyclists and a runner chasing off. Go, girl, go. A very nice lady saw us struggling with our directions and asked us if she could help. And we said we were following the source, or we're following the route of the River Beck. So she brought us into a wood and showed us where the beck flows underneath this wooden bridge there, and we can send the camera through the bridge like a shot from Citizen Kane. There it goes, and it disappears again into private property, so we're going to have to walk along the road and move away from the river. Serendipity means a happy accident. In other words, something that you don't expect to happen but has a good result. So the meeting of this lady was a serendipitous event, and she brought us to this part of the river hidden deep within the Amazon rainforest. No, not the Amazon rainforest. We're near the Amazon. Amazon does rainforests. Yes, you can get anything from Amazon. A sign of the times. Difficult to read what it says. But there's a picture of what seems to be a bird. Perhaps a vulture or an eagle. And it says the flying of remote controlled vultures in this park is not allowed. Oh no, is allowed. Remote controlled vultures are allowed in this park, but not remote controlled planes, apparently. Girl at my school who's called Audrey Close. Isn't it pleasant to stumble across an oasis in the middle of nowhere? Water, takeaway coffee, perhaps some carrot cake and a panini, with the great Shirley Oasis, scene of many a great coffee stop on the way to the source of the beck. Other sources are available. And we have rediscovered the beck. It has emerged from private land and it has reached the bridge on which we are standing. And there, like a forlorn symbol of lost hope, one of the racing cars from Fangio when he was a child, now left abandoned, like an abandoned racing car from Fangio. We should be able to see the river disappear under this bridge, under this road, under this car even, and emerge on the other side of the road under that bridge, which is where we're going. Follow us. Not in the car. This fast flowing, fascinating, beautiful river. One of the great rivers of Beckenham. One of the great rivers of the southeast. One of the great rivers, full stop. This is the Bridge of Sighs. This is the original of the Bridge of Sighs. They built a replica of this in Florence, but being Italians, not Florence, what am I talking about? In Venice. Being Italians, the Italian version is rather nicer, but this was the original. So content. So shall we do that? Shall we do that? Oh God. Oh God. What? The Bridge of Sighs. No. This is an elder. This is where the expression comes, respect your elders. So if you see one of these trees, you say, "Good morning, Mr. Elder. How are you doing today? Would you like some soup? Or perhaps a cream cake?" Always respect your elders, kids. And there, Pretty Flamingo. A song was written about it by Manfred Mann, was it? Manfred Mann had a hit with it, certainly. Manfred Mann may not have written it. Manfred Mann was not a real person, by the way. That was just the name of the band. Another of the great swamps that line parts of the river. Deep, deep mud where a man could get lost, never be found again. Nothing remaining but his stupid Peaky Blinders cap poking up above the quicksand. Another of the great bridges over the Beck. This one was sold to a Texan who paid $10 million to have it shipped to America, and when he received it, it was delivered by DHL a bit later than he was expecting. He wasn't happy with it, so he sent it back, and it was reassembled here over the Beck, where it has stood for thousands of years. Have we found the Beck again? Have we succeeded in our quest? Or have we found a tributary, stream, a creek, a rivulet, a trickle of water? Who knows? One of the great mysteries of the universe. This is one of the great open-air vegan buffets here. Eat as much as you want of the wood and the moss, the leaves and the grass and the twig. Fill your face with a vegan feast. Back here is quite steep. You can't really see how steep it is in the video, but it slopes down steeply to the water there, which you can hear trickling thousands of feet below us in the Great Beck Canyon. Very mysterious tracks, train tracks or tram tracks, about just over a foot wide and perhaps 6 or 7 or 10 feet long. They appear to start nowhere and they appear to end nowhere. Well, they end here, just by this tree. What were they? What did they symbolise? What was transported on this miniature railway? Will we ever know? Will it remain forever a mystery, like the other mysteries of life? There's a shoe there. It's not part of the train track. Horse chestnut. There was a boy at my school, a German boy, whose name was Horst Chestnut. He got teased quite a lot with a name like that, but he took it in good spirit. We have stumbled across a family, or even a whole tribe of mushrooms. Somebody just asked me if they were magic mushrooms. I don't think so. But one could eat them and see if you disappear. Reminds me of that old joke about the two cannibals eating a clown. One says to the other, "Does this taste funny to you?" They've gathered here in the lee of the wind, sheltered. What a beautiful sight one stumbles across. The tree of life. Well, tree of wood. We've stumbled across the 39 steps. Well, 2 steps anyway. Where are the other 37 who has stolen the steps? And the water trickles out from a pipe. And there is another one of the Beck. Another one of the Beck bridges. How many bridges have we crossed? Many rivers to cross. Many bridges to cross them on. This has been a really enjoyable walk with my walking companion, and this part of the route very quiet, not overrun with children and grandparents. It's been quite muddy, seen very few people, seen very few dogs, haven't seen any horses, Haven't seen any rhinoceroses. Rhinoceroses? Rhinoceri. Elephants. Elephants? Elephants. But it's been a fascinating walk, and we're still following the line. There you can see it. Just there. Okay. Not so easy to see, but the river has flowed around this patch of ground here and created an island. An island, a patch of land surrounded by water. And will this land try and control its fishing rights? Who knows? Can we get across to this island? Well, we probably can, but we might fall in and get rather wet, so we're not going to try it. But an island nonetheless. Beavers knows no bounds. They have dragged these bits of wood all the way from wherever they've dragged them from to dam the river. For who knows what purpose? Why does a beaver dam a river? Dam this river, say the beavers. The sound of trickling water. Careful. Made it! Pop band from 10 or 20 years ago, Steps, formed around Beckenham, West Wickham, and they were named after these stone steps across the River Beck. That was my hand there. If you touch the screen just in the centre there, the new YouTube algorithm will give you smell-o-vision, because we have emerged by the KFC, the great, the famous West Wickham KFC people campaigned against for so long, until the Supreme Court decided that people in West Wickham were entitled to KFC like the rest of us. And I voted for it, and I've eaten there many a time. Emerged from KFC after a suitable repast, a couple of hours, and now we are heading up on the final part of our walk. We can't see the Beck. Is the Beck behind us? Is it beside us? Is it beneath us? Is it unlikely to be above us? I suspect it's somewhere beneath us and to the side. But which side? Who knows? The Riverside Walk. Only the gates, the pearly gates, are barred to us. We are not to take the Riverside Walk today. But one day we will reach those pearly gates, as we all must, and take the Riverside Walk that goes through the gates and sit at the right hand of God. And I for one can't wait. One of the purple bricks signs. You can purchase these signs through the internet. This one is a little damaged. Perhaps it will be a little cheaper. But purple bricks for sale. A sign for sale. A for sale sign. Purple bricks. It's emerged, and hear the river. And find the river again. And the river runs up through the gardens of the houses on the road that we're about to walk up. So we won't see the river for a while. It's going to disappear into private property. But here we have found it again, and when you follow the source of a river, as Stanley followed the source of the Nile, or followed the river to the source, then you learn something about your environment that perhaps you didn't know before. Like, for example, the course of the River Beck. That's as long as Stanley did his trek to find Dr. Livingstone. And we are nearing the end of our quest. The quest is uphill. The quest is always uphill. It's the Beck River. And we will be not the first, not the people to discover the source, but we will be amongst the top 1,000 people to have done this journey to the source of the River Beck. A walking companion has just said, this is a big leaf. Is it a big leaf or is it a small shoe? Who knows? A big leaf nonetheless. There's a car wheel in the background. That's a leg. We don't want to see any more of that leg. Car going past. Now I feel a little of the excitement that Stanley must have felt as he approached the source of the Nile. As we are nearing the end of our quest. We've climbed a few miles up this steep escarpment. We're about to emerge into the great African plateau, the source of the Nile. Spring Park, somewhere hidden in the depths. Extensive woodland, this savannah, this desert is the source of the River Beck that we have come so far to seek. Let's hope we find it. Nearly at an end, but unfortunately we don't really know where that end is. We've lost the river, so we can't follow the course of the river. We're heading in a kind of direction that we think it might be from looking at the Ordnance Survey map, but we don't know if what's marked on the Ordnance Survey map is the actual source of the river. So we're a bit like the blind leading the blind, although they would perhaps have even less chance of success than we do at the moment. I come to more forks in the road. Best piece of advice I ever received: when you come to a fork in the road, take it. What is this mysterious object? Why would you attach something like that to a tree? I suppose it could be a birdhouse. Was it made by beavers? Imaginative beavers. At last our quest is at an end. After months of torment and privation, of starvation, with all of our trekkers and bearers having to be left behind, we are the last remnants of our exploration party, and here we have stumbled across the source of the Beck and the Nile, two great rivers found in one location, here on the edges of Shirley and West Wickham and Croydon. Alas, it seems we are not the first. Others have come and have left their offerings to the great god of the River Nile and the River Beck. They've left detritus, rubbish, plastic bottles. Who knows that before Stanley arrived at the source of the Nile, somebody had got there before him and left a half-drunk bottle of Lucozade behind. Such is the nature of a quest. This is how such stories end. Not with a bang, but with a lilt. Ah, Dr. Livingstone, I presume. Is this your packet of McCoy's crisps that you left here? Crinkled? Ready salted? No, said Dr. Livingstone. I prefer Walker's, the ones that Gary Lineker advertises, and preferably cheese and onion. Of course, one of the great mysteries is, if this is the source of the River Beck and the Nile and the Amazon and the Yangtze and the Thames and all the other great rivers of the world, the Rhine, the Derwent, the Ravensbourne, the Quaggy, where does this water come from? In other words, what is the source of the source that is the source of the great rivers? Does it fall from the sky as rain? And it's raining now. In which case, why is the source of the river not any place where it starts to rain? And we see the raindrops splashing on the water, reflecting the puddles of life, like that great king, the Lion King, that great film, The Lion King. A sign of the times, a mask in the wild, no ears to hang on, just some twigs. A sign of the times indeed. Well, I guess that's the end of the quest. It's taken a long time out of my life, but time I could spare. I wouldn't have been doing anything else, perhaps watching Loose Women, but it's brought me a certain sense of peace, a certain sense of joy. Somebody trying to hide behind me there. Let's hope I'm not attacked here in this wilderness. It's brought me enjoyment, it's brought me fun, it's brought me entertainment, it's brought me a little bit of wisdom, it's brought me a certain amount of hunger, it's brought me tired feet. Bring me your tired feet and your tired children and your hungry children, and I will feed you in America. So that's the end. We'll be heading home, me and my friend Dr. Livingstone, back home to the Reform Club for a slap-up dinner and perhaps an interview with Piers Morgan. Thanks for watching. See you next time.